Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Business Breakdown. I'm literally losing track of the episodes here.
Episode 366 or more.
It's like the Joe Rogan experience. We have so many episodes. Okay, so this episode, I found something really, really interesting. I was going through some of our customers, and this one, I think I'm going to stump you with this one. We have a customer who is having recruiting issues. Now, this is a customer in the legal field. They have a law firm, and all I can do is describe their recruiting process as very messy. They have a few instances of good candidates being forgotten about.
So it's a legal company in the US. They were static for many years, almost same amount of lawyers or attorneys in the States. And at some point, they tried to recruit really, really fast using Indeed, and back then it was Monster and other websites, and it didn't work well. Some of the resources that were contacted were forgotten. Some of them had multiple interviews and they lost track of them. It didn't work well. They approached us to try to understand how they can automate the process. What we did with them, we created for them a full automated process for their recruiting. When they create the job description, it's going to the website and it's also going to all the big boards, so Indeed and all the rest. Next, whenever people are applying, they will apply into one queue. Now, you probably know if you are recruiting people that when you are having one job, and the job will be, for example, paralegal, you will get another 80% of the resumes not related at all to being a paralegal. It's just people looking for a job, but because they're spamming, you're also getting them. So we created another automatic process that the moment that the resume comes in, we're waiting 15 minutes, so it will look like a human. And then we're sending an email and saying, thank you very much, awesome. Please record a 15 minutes video, and it's obviously click on a button and it's recording. You don't need really to record the video and upload somewhere. Record the video of yourself answering few questions, and those questions were on the screen. So they're reading the question and they're answering as they see it. So it's like a live interview. That reduced dramatically the number of people that actually applied, because the questions were specific questions for paralegals, for attorneys, and so on. The people that eventually came into the queue as people that completed the video interview were reviewed by a human. And if they were okay, normal people, they were continuing into the next step, which is a live interview. The system was built in a way that there was no really a way to lose track of the candidates. You add every step of the way. You have different people that being assigned in this specific law firm. You had different partners interviewing in different times. So junior partners were interviewing in the beginning of the funnel, and as they went into a more serious interview cycle, senior partners were interviewing them. And eventually, whenever those people were selected as candidates with an offer, if they accepted the offer, it was going automatically into a human resources system. So you have a track of all the recruiting process, including them being an employee of the company.
This question might be maybe a crazy one, but with that being said, because so much of this is already being automated, do you see a point where the entire recruiting process will be 100% automated, maybe with AI or something?
Yeah. I can see how you can automate almost the entire recruiting process, and a part of me wants to have everything automated until the last interview, which is with a human. The main reason is most of the people that I work with, they hire people based on a human contact. So I will have fantastic energy with you, and I guess you're great. And that's really not a way to interview. You should have an interview that is about energy and feeling, but that's not the one that's supposed to bring the person into the company. First of all, you have skills, and you have how this person can contribute, and you need to verify where he worked before, and background check, and criminal, and you have a bunch of things that all those can be fully automated. So I do think that AI will take the majority of the recruiting process. I hope anyway.
What about a fear, not of the dark, but rather of this specific automation? So you mentioned that people are supposed to record a video of themselves. What if a really great candidate was scared to get behind the camera and then just decided to leave?
The question is, are you okay receiving 400 resumes, checking them one by one, and then at some point, those 400 resumes, you won't do a good job and you will filter out people that are not supposed to be filtered? There is just no way to... You send a job, you're getting hundreds and hundreds of resumes. You need a way to filter them, and some good people will be filtered as well, but that's fine. Eventually, it's a numbers game.
So you're saying it's like a necessary loss. It's something you have to be okay with.
Yeah. For me, as where I am in the business career right now, yeah, I need automation to help me. Otherwise, I have manpower that is being allocated to review resumes. If you have an employee that is high level and he really understands everything about, law and being a great paralegal, this is an expensive resource. It will cost you, $60,000, $70,000 a recruiting process just for phase one. It doesn't make any sense.
Now, when you actually created this process for this company, knowing
it's my team, it's not me, right? My team created a fantastic process, not me.
You have to point to the hat whenever you say the team.
My team, they will think the hat is my team. No, yeah, I have a fantastic team, and then they're doing the job. Yeah.
So whenever the ABR team is working on this type of stuff, how do you differentiate between industry to industry? So, for example, legal, I have to imagine there's so much compliance involved. There's so many intricacies between law, maybe medical.
I worked with probably almost any industry out there, and based on the industries, the differences. For example, when you work with medical, compliance, it's not optional. You must be compliant, HIPAA compliant. If not, the government can close their shop. It's a big thing. If you work with legal, same thing. You have, for example, when you advertise a legal firm, you can't say we're the best. So all the best, and so on, it doesn't work. You need to know the industries that you're working with, and it takes time and pain and white beard.
So basically you're saying that the white beard is your superpower.
Not superpower, but it's pain. You work with different industries and you learn how to work with them. And I'm a big believer in taking notes and writing down things. And every client that we have in the system, every meeting that we ever had with them, we have recordings and we take notes, and we try to be a good strategic partner and know what they're doing, and the white beard eventually comes.
Now, last thing for me, you mentioned that you'd always, no matter what, no matter how automated it is, you always want the end to be by a human. Now, in your case, if you were to give somebody advice or give yourself advice, what would you say are the key components to look for in a person when hiring them? So maybe eventually you can even put that in the automation to filter people out.
Every company is different. We, in our company, as you know, we work only with A players. It's not a great strategy because there are different studies that show that lots of A players cannot work together in a good way. You need B and C players. We're small enough in ABR anyway. We're about 30 and some people right now, growing to probably 40 by the end of the year. We're only A players. So I will look for people that can receive a problem, which is part of the interview. We're throwing a problem on the person. They can't just go to ChatGPT and check the answer. They will get a problem and they need to come back the following day with a solution. The problems that we will come up with are kind of a problems that you can't come up with a solution by the following day. We're not looking for people to say, oh, I solved it. Impossible. We want people to come up with, I tried 1, 2, 3, 4, it didn't work. And I would think we want to see how they function. We don't want to see people that will say, this is the problem. They say, oh, so explain more. No, this is the problem. That's all you get. You get a problem. Now go home and don't sleep at night and figure out the same way that an A player would function. I see myself as an A player. You throw a problem at me, I will solve it. Or I will find people that will help me, or I will research. I will make it work because I can't see myself as someone that will not solve it. Those are the people we're looking for. A player solving problems. It's not, okay, who wants to show me a solution and everybody head down. No, everybody ends up, they're excited to show you the solution. Those are the type of people I want to work with. You know our team, each one of them, pure samurais, they're ninjas. And this is why the company is so successful, because of them. They are the reason.